Welcome to Hari's Hobbies, the channel where we discuss the latest tech news and delve into the newest tech products. So today, we're taking a look at why you shouldn't buy a GPU even if GPU prices hit MSRP. But before we delve into that, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys would like to stay updated with the latest tech news related to gaming and PCs. So as you guys already know, GPU prices have been inflated for quite a while now because of a variety of reasons such as cryptocurrency mining boom, increased demand, stock shortages, and inflated RAM prices. However, fortunately, GPU prices across the board have been slowly going down for the last several weeks, and many GPUs are even hitting MSRP. Some GPUs can even be found below MSRP like the GTX 1080, which you can find right now for $500 with the game bundled with it. And this is not just true for the GTX 1080. Right now, you can get a GTX 1060 EVGA 6GB card for $250 on Amazon. And if you guys didn't already catch on, $250 is the MSRP for the GTX 1060 6GB card. So as you guys can see, GPU prices across the board are finally hitting MSRP. And the cards that haven't hit MSRP will hit MSRP in the next couple of weeks. So why shouldn't you take advantage of this situation and buy a graphics card right now? Well, here's the thing. It's not really an advantage. First of all, the 10 series is over 2 years old. So why would you buy a GPU that is over 2 years old for full price? And on top of that, the 1100 series from Nvidia is coming really soon, so these GPUs are going to be outdated as well. So why would you pay full price for them? You could have gotten the same exact GPU for the same price 2 years ago. Probably even less. You may be like, well, for the last couple months, GPU prices have been so high that MSRP is a lot more favorable. And to this, you have to remember that just because you're getting ripped off less doesn't mean that you're not getting ripped off still. Overall, the 10 series and the RX 500 series from AMD are nearing the end of their life cycle, and it makes no sense to pay full MSRP price for either of them. Furthermore, the GTX 1100 series is coming up very soon, and it will most likely be offered for the same MSRP as its 10 series equivalents. For example, the 1160 will be offered at the same MSRP as the 1060, and the 1170 will be offered at the same MSRP as the 1070, and so on and so forth. So as a result, in just a couple of months, you can get the 1100 series equivalent of the card that you are looking at right now for the same price that you're willing to spend right now. And by getting the 1100 series equivalent of the 10 series card instead of the 10 series card itself, you're getting a significant performance upgrade, you'll be on the 12nm process, and you will get GDDR6 memory, and much more. So by waiting just a couple of months for the same price that you're willing to spend right now, you can get a lot more. So it really makes no sense to buy a graphics card right now for MSRP. So by now, I hope that it's really clear why you shouldn't get a 10 series card for MSRP. But what if there's a really killer deal on a 10 series graphics card? Should you buy it then? Well, in my opinion, you should still just wait for the 1100 series because again, it'll provide you with much more performance for the same price. For example, the GTX 1160 is expected to perform just barely better than the GTX 1070. So let's say you find a killer deal for the GTX 1070 and it is being offered for the same MSRP as the GTX 1060 6GB card at $250. First of all, it is really unlikely that you're going to find such a great deal. But even if you did, waiting for the 1160 and buying that for $250 would be the better option because of all the perks that comes with, like GDDR6 memory, the 12nm process, and just simple bragging rights that you're on the newest platform. Well, what if you don't care about getting more performance and all you care about is the price to performance ratio? Even here, it would be smarter to wait for the GTX 1100 series and then make decisions. Because when the GTX 1100 series comes out, the 10 series will drop even more in price, so you'll get an even better price to performance ratio. Finally, I know that many of you guys have been waiting for a very long time right now. So why wouldn't you just make the whole wait worth it? And why would you give in right now by getting a GPU for full MSRP or just at a good deal, but the GPU is still going to be outdated very soon? Instead, you guys should just make the whole wait worth it by getting a new 1100 series card when it comes out. Overall, right now, it really makes no sense to buy any GPU at MSRP because the GPUs are going to be outdated very soon. And even if you find a good deal, the 1100 series will most likely beat the performance to price ratio that you will be getting with the card that you're considering right now. The only scenario where it makes sense to buy a GPU right now instead of waiting is the GTX 1080 Ti, because the 1180 is not going to really beat it out by that much, and the GTX 1180 Ti isn't coming out for a really long time. So that's probably the most reasonable one out of all the GPUs available right now. However, if you're considering to buy a GTX 1080 Ti, then you probably want the best performance available and all the perks that come along with it. So you should probably just wait for the GTX 1180 to be able to get GDDR6 memory and be on the 12nm process and much more. So as a result, only buy a GPU right now if you truly need it. And don't buy a GPU right now just because it is being offered for MSRP and you can feel better about yourself for not overpaying for the GPU because you're still getting ripped off. It is clear that it has been a rough couple of months for many of you guys, but I really recommend that you guys just stick along and push through and make it all worth it. But that's just what I think. I know that you guys get really angry whenever I tell you to wait any longer, so make sure to post all the hate down below. But seriously though, how do you guys feel about this? Do you guys agree that it is not a very smart decision to buy a GPU right now even if GPU prices hit MSRP? Or do you think that times couldn't be better to buy a GPU? Make sure to comment down below what you guys think, because I do read all my comments and I'm curious as to what you guys think, so make sure to post your thoughts. Also, if you guys liked this video and agree, then make sure to drop a like, and if you guys hated it and completely disagree, then make sure to drop a dislike as well. Finally, if you would like to see more videos just like this one, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. But until next time, bye.